Hello and welcome to India Today. This is Hesha Chimah, and joining me for a conversation are four fabulous people out here, a team that's ought to give us crores and crores of rupees as far as box office numbers are concerned. So congratulations, all of you. Thank you for moving time and being here. Goes without saying, box office numbers are important. At the end of the day, each one of us, including myself, are a part of an industry where the number game matters. I'm going to come straight to you, Khushbu, and ask you, do you sometimes feel while the number game is important, there are also content pieces and pegs which get lost in translation just because the numbers are not right, but the overall quality of the product could be good?
I personally feel in today's times, we are going back. There was a phase in between where only the numbers mattered. But we are moving back, fortunately, to a time where the content of the film is important. The hero of the film is the content. And I think this evolution has come in because of the OTT platform, because during the lockdown period, during the COVID times, people were able to watch films from world over at the tip of their fingers. So I think they understand the content now. So anything which is mediocre, they're not ready to take it. They said, "Yaar, hazar baar dekh chuke hain, give us something more." So it's nice that if you're able to give them the content along with the numbers, then it's like Sone Pe Suhaga.
Yeah.
But I feel that any given day, I am more of a content person. But for me, content is not anything which is preachy. For me, content is not biopic. For me, content is give me entertainment, paisa vasool. I go to the theater with my family, my friends, my children, and I need to be entertained. I need to have the best of songs, the best looking girls, a good hero, lovely comedy by Johnny Liver, and I say, oh, I had a hearty laugh and I'm back home.
So you have the best of the song because that's just launched. You have the best looking girls. Are we talking content and fun and comedy, everything together with horror in the film
Yes,
too?
of course, and that's why it's giving you the numbers at the box office too.
Right. Sundar, I have to ask you this. You're oscillating by being a director and an actor. I'm going to ask you and take you away and be, the director that you are. What did you aspire to get between Tamannaah and Raashii when they did their respective scenes as a director? What were you achieving between that action and cut from both of them individually? Because they're both fabulous.
The thing was, working with seasoned and stars like Raashii and Tamannaah, you can expect what you expect from them. See, the performance-wise, you can give a cue to them. This is what I expect, and they'll give back the performance 10 times more. Unlike a new face or somebody else where you have to put a lot of effort, it's much easier. So when they are in the screen, you can concentrate on a lot of other things because you are sure they'll do their part as per my expectation or any director's expectation. So that's one blessing thing, and they'll give much more. In this movie, especially, there is some sequence where there is a Tamannaah's portion is there, and a very important portion. And I know Tamannaah is a good actress. I never expected she'll come up with such a great performance. And it's not an easy sequence to shoot or act also. It's not the sequence where she can act or it's a close-up where she can emote. She's hanging somewhere in the rope, everything, holding two kids, and she should give the performance. Same go to Raashii also, because see, as a director who does lot of humorous movies, doing a humor scenes with seasoned comedy artists is not an easy deal. So at that time, working with Raashii or Tamannaah, the seasoned artists came handy to you, much easier to work with, and the results are so good. And that's seen in the movie actually.
Yeah. But listen, tell me this whole addiction towards supernatural. Are all of you all also as addicted as he is? Or is it just, are you also?
I love performing for sure. Performing is fun. There are, the thing is, this genre got a bit abused in the middle. Because when he made the first Aranmanai, I think after that, a lot of people tried to make horror comedies. And in general, I think people are attempting it, but not everyone does a good job at it because I think what people lose sight of in commercial films like these is the heart or the core. Like in our film, we have the base is actually a ghost, which is which comes from a folklore which is Assamese. So there is a story which is bigger than just what you're seeing. And the ghost is almost like a myth and is almost like very larger than life. So I feel like that element, having that core thing, grounding of story like that is so crucial, and I think many people just lost that in the equation. So I feel like it's fun to perform, but sometimes it can really backfire.
Yeah.
Whereas Sundar C sir has consistently been able to deliver, 1, 2, 3, and now of course 4.
Yeah.
Having done just amazing numbers. I mean, we were getting surprised by the day that we were getting such a good response, and not just numbers. I feel like today's time and age, numbers is one thing that matters, but I think conversation.
Yeah.
A film has to also make conversation post-release. If it doesn't make conversation, I don't think it has reached its full potential.
Yeah.
So I think when people start talking about the movie post its release is when I think, apart from the numbers, do you feel like the film has actually made the impact it should? And I feel like this film for me also, I didn't expect critical acclaim on a film like this, which is generally considered commercial. But because of the kind of part that Sundar C sir gave me, which was just so emotional and so heart-wrenching, I think it was a natural outcome.
But Tamannaah, I'm just going to take you from this part only. What at this point in your career, where you've seen the success, where you've seen the high, you've seen the low, you've seen it all, and you've sort of been oscillating, not just platforms, languages, everything in general, overall. What matters to you the most at this given point in time as far as your career trajectory is concerned?
I think to work with like-minded people, and actually to work with creative people that bring out my creative best. So I feel like because making movies is a collective art form. It's not about one person. I can come with 200%, but if everybody on board doesn't feel the same way, or if my director and my team is not feeling the same way, or if you're on different planes, we'll never be able to give each other the best. I think that's the most important thing, and I look for that right now. And I look for experiences, because I feel like as an actor, only when you are, it's not about the length of the part, but it's how involved you get to be in a character. I feel like just the process of feeling fully immersed, like when you come back home, you don't have any physical strength, you don't have any mental strength left.
Yeah.
So you know that you've spent yourself fully in that day. I feel like for me, that is very, very, it's very rewarding. And I think that's my endeavor right now, actually.
Lovely. Raashii, coming to you, congratulations. You've had back-to-back successes as well. Tell me, at this given point in time, success does get a little difficult to handle and to maintain. Have you sort of envisioned yourself going forward in a way that if at all I have to deal with the failure that comes along with it, this is what my roadmap is going to be? Do you have these thoughts? What's your fear like?
So the thing is, I've also done about 35 films and I have seen it all as well. I have seen the lows and have seen the highs. And I think I've worked towards a state where I'm centered today, where failure doesn't go to my heart and success doesn't go to my head. So if the film works, yes, great. I love it for everybody in the film. If a film doesn't work, I learn from it and I understand why. Was it because of me? Can I work on myself? Because that's the only thing that is in my hand. And I do live in surrender, so I don't have any 2-year plans or 3-year plans or 4-year plans. I believe in God too much, and I've surrendered my life to Him. So I feel like whatever happens, there is either a lesson I have to learn from failure or a lesson I have to learn even from success. So for me, I'm a very balanced person. Nothing goes to my, nothing changes my mental state because I'm always centered. I just live by the day, enjoy the day, live the day as peacefully as I can, and I move on. So it doesn't bother me, success or failure, because sometimes success goes into the heads of people, and I've seen people change.
Yeah.
They see success and they completely change, and then you meet this new individual and you're like, dude, what happened to you?
Yeah.
So I have seen that, and that's sad because you never know. You'll taste failure like this. Like if you're going up, you will go down at some point. So I have seen people change with success, but I think failure teaches you more than success does in life, and that's why it's so important. And I embrace failure as much as I embrace success. So yeah, I'm quite sorted that way.
Tamannaah spoke about screen space also,
Yes.
and I want to ask you a similar question. Do you also feel that you're oscillating somewhere between picking meaty roles, probably with lesser screen space, but then also aiming for a role which would give you that kind of screen space or a banner portrait, because that's also very important. So where are you on that graph?
I look for everything. I want to do films where even if I don't have that big a part, I should be impactful enough. And even sometimes when the character is not written as well, then you create it. That's an actor's job, to create it. So I like that challenge as well. I go by the content piece where I try to understand the film on the whole and not just my part, because I see art like that. And for me, it doesn't matter even if I'm there for like 20 minutes in the film, but I should have been impactful. Otherwise, I have just failed as an actor. So I feel like I want that. I want to be able to do singing and dancing in a film where I'm just enjoying that, because consistently if you're doing parts which are meatier, it also gets onto your psyche. It also affects you as an actor, because I take my characters home sometimes when you're really involved in it. So I think it's a mixed match, and I want to be able to do it all. Yeah.
I want to ask all four of you all a common question. What's the most gratifying part about what each one of you all do? Of course, actors, producer, director, actor. You, why don't you go first?
Pardon, I
What's
can't.
the most gratifying part about your job?
The thing is, a multi-crore businessman, if he does 100 crores profit, anything, nobody in the world knows except his close circle. Where it comes to movie, your creation is seen by crores and crores of people. Your success is known to every people. That happiness, that's the biggest thing in our profession. What I think, what are you doing? 100 crores of people are watching, enjoying, appreciating, clapping, and they're forgetting their own sorrows, everything. They're totally indulging in the movie, the dark theater, watching in the screen. That's the best part of our job, according for me.
What about you, Khushbu?
I think for me, the most gratifying part is to come back home and see that look of appreciation in the eyes of your mom or your children. And I think that, and for me, I think right now as a wife, to see the kind of look or the smile in my husband's face is the most gratifying thing at the moment.
Tamannaah, what about you?
I think for me, being an actor and being in the movie business, for me, I don't know, it feels a bit of a solo journey. And I just feel really good about, if I'm looking at the monitor or if I've seen something that I've performed and I'm looking at myself, I really don't recognize who that person is. I feel like that is really gratifying for me, because as an actor, I want to constantly create, different people. And that process of just being able to bring something to life and, give it all the emotion that I have, I feel like that's very gratifying for me.
I think for me, it's the audience's reaction. That's the most gratifying part of my job.
So validation is important.
Yes,
basically.
I mean, the fact that you move somebody by performing, being in somebody's shoes that you're not on screen, like you're always constantly performing different characters, different bandwidth in terms of emotions, right? So to be able to make them laugh or to make them cry with you, I think that's the most gratifying thing ever. Yeah.
I have a very different take as far as competition and pitting against one another is concerned, whether that's with actors or actresses. I want to ask both of you all this. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you all don't agree with me. I feel competition is healthy.
Yeah.
Let's say if I'm pitted against somebody for whatsoever reason, it probably motivates me to do better.
Yeah.
Is that what you all also felt
Yeah,
like this when
definitely.
that happens? Because it is happening and it's inevitable.
Absolutely.
I think unless there's competition, you will not work on yourself. You'll just be however, because it's coming to you, right?
But then the flip is, how do you all drive your sense of security while that competition is there?
That I think you have to be as a person. I don't think that comes. It's not you can't, and it's got actually nothing to do with the other person.
Yeah, it's more.
It's a very self-talk situation. If you don't think much of yourself, then you can have the most stupidest person around you, and you'll think like, "Arey, ye to matlab Bhagwan hai," or and you will feel small about yourself.
Yeah.
That's just how you think of yourself. But I feel like because we are talking about Aranmanai and I'm talking about Raashii, what I love about her is, even if say we are doing a song together and we are almost like dancing like right next to each other, what we both were very focused on was doing our best, and also there was a sense of support. Like I really felt that sense of support, and I think even she felt that. It was not, I don't think this works when you have this idea that you're against each other, because you're in the same frame, you're creating the same world. How can you be, I don't know how does that energy work when you're not for each other.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like there's a chemistry that happens when two people are in synergy and they're doing the same thing with, with their own like mirch masala in it, which makes it look exciting.
Yeah.
So I feel like but I also feel like Raashii is a very, very, I've worked with various people, but she's a very, very secure actor. And that is a very, very rare thing to see.
I've never really felt jealous of anybody in my life, honestly. Because I've always seen somebody and I said, wow, she's doing so well, or wow, he's doing so well. It's not about arey mujhe kyun nahi mila, arey mere sath. I don't live in that victim mindset or mentality and I think jealousy is stupid. That's how I feel. You're not going to get anywhere with it. The only thing you can do is do the best that you can do, and leave the rest. I mean, why focus on those things? Focus on your creative energy, and you destroy it sometimes when you start focusing on things that don't matter, right? And I see art as a collaboration. All of us here do, and that's why I think we are above it today. Yeah, and it's a process. It takes time. Yeah.
Sundar and Khushbu, I want to ask you before I wrap this up very quickly. Tell me, what's the biggest misconception about the Southern film industry?
The biggest misconception.
Yeah.
Can I
And that you'd like to break, please feel free.
I want
All
to
of
say
you all can actually take
that.
that.
It's all
One
about
for the
singing
team.
and dancing is what I also used to think when I started out, because I was like, नहीं ये तो सिर्फ गाना नाचते गाते हैं और ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं. Only to realize later that a lot of Hindi films were remakes of South films, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know. So I had so much more respect for the Southern film industry. I was like, oh my god, these gems are like remade.
Nobody is calling each other.
Nobody was calling each
I think
other.
that was the misconception. I don't think anymore, but sorry, ma'am.
Yes, but I think the biggest misconception people have about South Indian industry is we are not content driven. It was there for some time. And one phrase which I've never understood is what is Bollywood and Tollywood or Collywood. I think I have always fought on every given platform. I have fought and said it's Indian cinema.
Yeah.
South Indian cinema and 4 languages in South India. When you talk about Bollywood, it's one single language. But South India has 4 languages. And they have played a very, very vital role in building the film industry, Indian film industry. And I have always been proud that the best of actors, the best of technicians have always belonged to South India.
Yes.
So I think the conception has changed now. Now, though, even a Hindi film is like Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada dubbed.
Yeah.
So I think, that gives a sense of pride. But the conception has been changing. The basic mindset has been changing. Today, South Indian films are making waves world over. So I think, yes, we are on the right track.
On the right track. I think even OTT right now has that. Different
Absolutely.
languages. Even if it's a web show, they're making sure that it's multi-language.
Yes, definitely.
Do you have a point of view too?
Yeah, for me, the language barriers are started to break. I don't think hereafter there is no Tamil, Telugu or Hindi movies. It will be, it's not language oriented, it will be content oriented.
Yeah.
If the content is good, it will run everywhere. No more is a Malayalam movie. Say in Malayalam, they say South movies, but South actually is 4 languages: Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, and Telugu. And out of these 4, Malayalam is little smaller industry compared to the others.
Yeah.
But on small movie with relatively new artists called Manjubal Boys, it created record in all over the South languages, all over South India. And I want to make a point clear: it was not dubbed in any languages.
Yeah.
That it was released straightly in Malayalam languages in all the states and became a super hit. So it's going to be the future. It's going to be the future. So I don't think hereafter movies won't be categorized with the languages. It's more of a content.
Yeah. Tamannaah, your take on that as well, please.
हाँ यार, अभी 2024 में इसको हिंदुस्तानी फिल्में बना दो. अब कहाँ, अभी कौन सी भाषा रह गई? हम सारी भाषाओं में फिल्में बनाते हैं और बहुत अच्छी फिल्में बनाते हैं. एक अच्छी बात है कि जब हम एटलीस्ट आउट ऑफ दिस कंट्री चले जाते हैं तो कम से कम बोलते हैं इंडियन एक्टर ने जीता, इंडियन एक्टर ने फिल्म किया या इंडियन फिल्म ने जीता. तो वो अगर हम वही एक जज्बा लेके हम हमारी खुद की इंडस्ट्री में बात करें तो आई थिंक इट्स बेटर फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस बिकॉज आई फील लाइक एसेंशियली इट इज इंडियन.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the thing is about actually.
And the flavor is also catching on. We're seeing it. A lot of it is adaptation, a lot of it is taken, and a lot of it is made in that audience as well. So really hoping forward that this does wonders for all of us here in Mumbai and otherwise that is releasing in Hindi. All the very best. यहाँ पे और 200, 300, 400 करोड़ हो जाए फिर हम और पैसे की बात करें. तो और इंटरव्यूज हो और हम और बैठे. So
अगली बार पैसे लगे होंगे.
हाँ यहाँ पे Tamannaah.
Dollar bills, like rupee bills will be all over us.
Yeah, she's like, we're the money-making machine. But thank you for this interesting conversation and putting your 2 cents into this. Thank you so much, everyone.